guys, and welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. So this Wednesday, we're going to be talking about the effects of cold immersion on female hormones specifically. There's been a lot of studies out there and research papers written about the effects of cold exposure on male hormones. Specifically, we know that plunging for men ups the testosterone levels. There's not as much studies out there about women's hormone levels. So today we're going to get into it. Real quick before we get into it, I do want to thank my research team for putting this together for me. And of course, we will cite where we pull the information in the description below. The first study we looked specifically at women and their menstrual cycles. However, I will note that this study did not appear to have any data backing it up, meaning there was no links to other articles where they're pulling the information, etc. But of course, we know that cold therapy helps with circulation. What they were looking into was also going a little bit further down the rabbit hole of skin tone, immune system activation, and hormone regulation. So specifically, they were finding ice baths beneficial for menstrual cycles by reducing cramps, fatigue, and even mood swings. It does this by improving the circulation, helping balance the hormone production, and impacts the nervous system in a positive way. The only thing, like I said, it makes sense that it would help with cramps and fatigue and even mood swings and things like that. I don't know where they're getting the information of balancing hormone production. That is one thing that we've been looking into pretty heavily. However, it seems like there's not a lot of studies actually out there. Now, a far more beneficial, in my opinion, study comes out of PubMed. And so PubMed looked at metabolic and hormonal responses during prolonged whole body immersion. The 16 divers completed 4 immersions in 5 degrees Celsius water. And they did 1 immersion in the AM and 1 in the PM to evaluate the different variations. Blood samples were taken before and after completion of each immersion. So cortisol and /HCTH levels demonstrated diurnal variation with larger increases occurring after PM immersions. So what this tells us, if you're already pretty stressed out and you already have high cortisol levels, you don't want to be plunging at night. You're going to find it more beneficial, similar to men plunging in the morning to up their testosterone. For women, plunging in the early morning might actually help lower cortisol levels instead of heightening them. They also found, regardless of the time, a greater than 3-fold post-immersion increase occurred in norepinephrine, which we talked about in the previous video. There were also significant increases in T3. Post-immersion free fatty acid levels increased 409% from pre-immersion levels. Glucose levels declined, and lactate increased significantly. The overall summary of this particular study was that when subjects are immersed in cold water for prolonged periods, with the slow rate of body cooling afforded by thermal protection and intermittent exercise, hormonal and metabolic changes occur that are similar in direction and magnitude to short duration, unprotected exposures. Except for cortisol and ACTH, none of the other measured variables exhibited diurnal alterations. The last study we looked at was from Optimize, and this one was rather interesting because it correlated with a question I got in one of my Facebook groups regarding cold plunging and reverse aging. Now, this study does not at all claim that cold plunging helps reverse aging. However, again, focusing specifically on the health benefits for women, again, it boosts mood by releasing endorphins and norepinephrine, reduces stress, supports weight loss by activating brown fat, enhances immune function by increasing immune cell production, and reduces inflammation. This one went a little bit further and also found that the improved blood circulation helps improve skin and hair health through the circulation and tightening effects. So while it is not necessarily anti-aging, what it is saying is that the increased blood flow can help with cellular turnover, which then would help, obviously, your skin and your hair be more lustrous, more glowy, all that kind of stuff, because it's getting more circulation than maybe it had previously. As we get older, we do lose some of that circulation. So it's potential with cold plunging to keep that circulation going longer and keep your skin and hair healthier for a longer period. While I do find these 3 studies interesting, I am going to continue to search and have my research team search and find anything specifically measuring women's hormone levels, specifically estrogen and cortisol, because I think that's one of the things that women really struggle with. And we all know that hormonal imbalances, especially as we get older, can cause lots of changes that are not necessarily fun to deal with. Studies are still coming out, and as I say in every video, most of the studies conclusively say we do need more studies. So take everything with a grain of salt, guys, including these videos. Find what works best for you. And of course, be safe when you are starting cold immersion. If it's your first time, make sure there's somebody there. If you're going to go for a longer than average plunge, make sure there's somebody there. Make sure that you guys are being safe. Again, if you're not sure what your ideal time to plunge is based off of how your body reacts, icewellnessjournal.com/info is a good resource. Our journal is designed to help you track your variables and find out what parameters are best for you when it comes to your cold therapy. And then our challenge and membership is designed to help you get out of your head, meditate daily, exercise daily, and just overall add whole health, healing, and wellness to your cold therapy experience.